I'll start by identifying the endocrine gland, listing the hormone, and advising of the function of those hormones. So starting at the top, we have the anterior and posterior pituitary gland. Okay. Then we have the thyroid gland and the parathyroid. And the parathyroid. Okay. And then here we have the pancreas. And then the adrenal gland. Okay, so that's a list of the endocrine gland labeled. We have the anterior and posterior pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, pancreas, and the adrenal gland. And the hormones that consist of the anterior and posterior pituitary glands are the thyroid stimulating hormone, which stimulates the thyroid to secrete thyroid hormones, the adrenocorticotropic hormone, which stimulates the adrenal cortex to release corticosteroid hormones. We have the follicle stimulating hormone, which stimulates gamete production. We have the LH hormone, which produces estrogen and testosterone. And then we have the growth hormone, which stimulates most body cells to increase in size and divide. And then finally, we have the prolactin hormone, which stimulates milk production by the breast. As far as the posterior pituitary gland hormones, we have the antidiuretic hormone, which influences body water balance. Oxytocin, which stimulates contraction of the smooth muscle. I'm going to kind of skip out of place, but I'll go down to the adrenal gland. And basically, the adrenal gland is structurally and functionally 2 glands in one. And we'll start with the most outer portion of it, which is the zona glomerulosa. And it stimulates production of mineral corticoids, which helps control the balance of minerals and the water in the blood. And the middle portion, which would be the zona fasciculata, which secretes the metabolic hormones called glucocorticoids. And then we have the innermost, which is the zona reticularis, and that secretes the glucocorticoids and small amounts of adrenal sex hormones. And moving over to the pancreas, which is located behind the stomach. Its basic hormones are insulin and glucagon. And the glucagon raises blood sugar to the proper levels. Its major target is the liver. And then the insulin, its function is to lower blood sugar to the proper levels by inhibits breakdown of glucogen to glucose, enhance transport of glucose into cells, promotes breakdown of glucose inside of the cells for ATP production, and it joins glucose together to form glycogen. So moving up to the thyroid and the parathyroid. The thyroid gland hormones are T3 and T4. And the T3 is the most active form at the target cells and conversions of T4 to T3. And T4 secreted from the thyroid in greater amounts of T3. The thyroid gland has the ability to make, store, and release its hormones. The parathyroid is responsible for calcitonin, which function is to lower blood calcium levels by stimulating calcium uptake by the bone. So that sums it up for our adrenal glands. Again, we have the interior and posterior pituitary gland, the parathyroid gland, the thyroid gland, the pancreas, and of course the adrenal gland.